Could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Phil Collin, and I play guitar for Def Leppard.
For how many years already?
82, however long that is. A long time, yeah. 20-something years, yeah.
Still enjoying it, of course.
It's wonderful, you know, and I would never have thought we'd still be doing this at this level, like now, so it's beyond expectations.
Yeah. Would you ever expect that you made a massive band?
No, you don't. And even when you start up, I mean, the longevity that for 20-something years is pretty wild.
Can you remember how you came with the band? Because the band started already in '77.
Yeah. I was in a band called Girl, and we'd bump into each other. You know, we'd be touring England and Europe and stuff like that, and we'd run into each other now and again. So I knew the guys already, and I just came to help out on some recording, really, and that was Pyromania album. Yeah. So I ended up just kind of going on tour after that.
Wasn't that weird first time you went with these guys on tour?
Not really. I mean, we started. I mean, the first gig we did was the Marquee, and we was playing at empty theatres, and it was an opening act. And while we were doing that tour, it just exploded. So it was weird for everyone, really. It was you know, we started in the Marquee Club, which was about 600 people, and we ended Jack Murphy Stadium that year, and it was 55,000 people. So
that's great.
It was ridiculous, yeah.
Big fans came with the album Mysteria in '87. Me too. And with 6 singles of 12 songs on the album, that's fucking great.
Outrageous, yeah.
How many million sold?
It went 13 times platinum, and then the rest of I think 18 million all told. So yeah, it's silly.
What happens then with you?
After that, the album before also went in America. They call it Diamond, so if it goes 10 times platinum. So we'd already had that album, which was huge as well. And I think it just brings you back down to earth, because we had to kind of start from scratch again. So and then Rick had his accident, and so that kind of. It makes you a bit more mellow. You don't get really kind of too full of yourself, I think, and that was the thing that happened with us. And then obviously with Steve dying, it was so we've always kind of kept a low profile, really. No one's actually got too ahead of themselves or too big-headed or anything.
Feet on the ground.
Yeah.
What happened after that? You played the world, and the world again.
Over and over again, and you know, a few suitcases. And actually, I got to get a new one. My other one's just dying on me. I was like, oh, yeah.
What do you always take with you when traveling?
Well, everyone takes a computer now, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, I do demos on my Mac, and some of the stuff ends up on albums. You know.
So you plug in your guitar and.
I mean, honestly, you can't tell the difference. But I mean, sometimes I plug straight into the computer, and it's like just incredible. Yeah.
How can you get be inspired all the time then?
You've just got a concept. If you're a fan of different art forms, you know, if you read books, if you see movies, you read poetry or like music or whatever, then you're always going to get inspired. You know, they're inspired arts, and I think you kind of you need that, really. And if you travel a lot, which I kind of tend to do, you get I think if you separate yourself too much from the really cool things around, you stop getting inspired. But if there's some great stuff out there to be inspired by, I think.
Also by the Kings?
Yeah, we actually done a Waterloo Sunset on the new album, you know, which is a Ray Davies song, which is a great song, you know, and it's, you know, I'm from London. It was I remember when I was growing up, it was like a very London type song, you know, so it was cool.
Did you meet him today?
I haven't, not yet, no.
He knows that you've covered that song.
I don't know. We're trying to. Someone asked us last night. They said, "So, has anyone heard some of these covers?" And apparently, David Bowie's heard it. Roger Stewart's heard it. They both said it was great. So, and who else? Oh, and then Brian Robertson actually walked by, who played the Thin Lizzy thing. So, and then well, this is very nice. Oh, come on, flop it on the tape. So when I was in Girl. Right, we actually done this photo shoot. I've got to tell you, people were going, "You got any anecdotes?" And Jerry, the other guitar player, was doing a photo shoot for this Japanese magazine, and he done that. He actually undone his flyers and flopped it out on this table. It's just like this.
You're joking.
No, and I thought, oh, well, they're obviously not gonna nothing.
Okay.
So years later, I'm in Japan with Def Leppards, and someone gave me a magazine, and it had some old pictures of Girl, and there was a half-page colour shot, and no one had seen it, but his dick was hanging out. It's on the thing. I'm like, oh my god! Actually made it to the magazine.
Oh, years later.
Yeah. So it's pretty funny.
Do you get inspired by new bands? Because, you know, there's a lot of new bands around now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's some really cool stuff. I mean, in America, everyone's trying to sound English. Actually, everywhere, everyone's trying to sound like kind of a retro throwback thing.
80s.
Yeah, but you know, like the Killers and all that stuff, and the Strokes. They all sound very English. And there's some up in Canada, this band called Hot Heat.
Yeah,
they're all the great stuff. It's really cool, and it's really good. It's very inspiring stuff. So I like it.
Yeah, do you play with these bands sometimes, or?
Not really. No, I mean, you know,
it's more like more older rock and roll band.
Really, I mean, we haven't been on tour this is the first time this year. So we just done a thing in Vegas where we got honoured, us, Queen, Kiss and Judas Priest, and the Foo Fighters done a Queen song, All American Rejects done a Def Leppards song, Godsmack done a Priest song, and Rob Zombie, Slash and Tommy Lee done a Kiss song. So, and then we played 3 songs each, and it was great. It was really good.
Cool. Okay, have a nice show.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cool.